Hey friend, Roger Christofferson here again with another first listen review. If you love listening to somebody babble about music that they love, or maybe sometimes don't love, but hopefully they love, this is the right place for you. Today we are talking about Billy Morrison and his new album called The Morrison Project. It's actually his third solo album. He is mainly known as the rhythm guitarist for Billy Idol. Been with him for about 15 years. He's also worked with other bands and stuff like The Cult as the bassist. He's worked with Al Jurgensen in Ministry, I believe. And quite honestly, I mainly know him from Billy Idol. I just kind of know him from a couple other things. I was a Cult fan, always been a Cult fan, so I knew him from that. I'm not a Ministry fan at all, so I don't know what exactly he did with them, but I was more interested in this album because I haven't got any of his other solo albums, although I now know that he has worked with other guest performers in the past, but this one was promoted a little bit more, and I saw that he had a few cool guests on this one, and I was like, all right, I'll check it out, see what this sounds like. I like Billy Idol, and I've always liked The Cult, so kind of have an idea what style of music I'm getting into, or so I thought, but I'll get to that here. So wasn't really sure exactly what I was going to be getting into with this one, but I'll break it down for you. I was kind of expecting something along the lines of being a rock, straight ahead rock, and you get that a little bit, but the one thing I didn't like about this album is that that industrial sounding guitar sound that was used a lot in the 90s, that's all over this thing. I mean, that's the main guitar sound I hear is that really processed, overdriven, industrial sounding guitar. The first song kicks in called Drowning. I have not heard any of these things previously. And it's got a hook to it, it's memorable. Although the hook to it itself is not something I found extremely something that I like that much. So it's it's catchy and it's memorable, but I didn't really care for it much. So it's all right, hopefully it gets a little bit better from here. That's right from the start. I noticed that guitar sound. I'm like, oh, okay, we're going with this. And then it kicks into the song featuring Ozzy Osbourne, and it's got Tommy Clefitos, I don't know if I'm saying that right, on drums. So you got half, Ozzy's band. Actually played with Black Sabbath on the last tour there, Tommy did. And this song is cool. This song is great. Ozzy's last couple solo albums actually sounded like this. I think they would have done a lot better. Even though I like Ozzy's previous, I like when people experiment and do stuff. So I liked what Ozzy tried doing. But this song was really cool. I mean, it fit perfectly with Ozzy. It's called Crack Cocaine. But I don't know. That song was really cool. It really did it for me. And I'll give it away right here at the start, the highlight of the album. Because from this point on, it just kind of goes nowhere. I mean, just nowhere. We got a song called It's Come to This, and I don't know, just didn't seem to go anywhere. And then we have a song called The Eyes Have It featuring Al Jurgensen and John 5. Although this is where I start noticing the highlights of these songs are going to be the guest performance and the solos. This one had a killer solo in it. Unfortunately, it doesn't do much else than that. You skip ahead to a few songs. Basically every song that does not feature a guest performer is just kind of It's not I would turn it off and it's just I hate it. I want to listen to this. It's not that type of thing. It's just oh yeah, it's a song. It's cool. But that's about it. And I really, it's a weird mixture in the production of this. It's probably why I don't listen to a lot of the newer bands, because the production style nowadays is you record the band with a lot of bands. I'm not going to say every single band is this way, but I know this is with a lot of bands. Record it, they take the drum track, quantize it, put in a lot of samples, so it's perfectly in time, no feel to it whatsoever, and then a lot of samples so they sound like everybody else. And then the same thing's done with the bass guitar and whatever other instruments they add in. They quantize it, they cut it, paste it, grit it up so it's exactly the same thing, super tight. for some bands, that's the sound they want, and that's what they go with. But it just, for me, this is just my personal opinion, completely loses the feel. And that's not what rock is for me. It's not what I grew up listening to. Songs had feel. They had, the tempo fluctuated a little bit. It wasn't the exact same thing because it sounded like human beings playing it. I know I sound like an old fuddy-duddy, but I don't care. It's what I like. And this did not have that feel at all. It actually had no feel. So that's probably why I didn't enjoy most of what was happening here. Incite the Witch has Corey Taylor and Steve Vai on it. I like Corey Taylor's singing voice, and he did really good on this one. And of course, Steve Vai just is amazing. So, like I said, and with all the guest performances on here, amazing. That one just blew me away. The only one that I didn't like with a guest performance was Just Like a Movie. It has DMC and then a couple other people I'm not familiar with at all, Persian Newman and Eric Eldenius. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Probably not, but I don't know. Didn't do anything for me. The only other song that really stood out for me was called Mr. Dream, which had Billy Idol and Steve Stevens on it. Another cool solo on that one. And then from that point on, I don't know. Just I'm never going to have to listen to this one again. That's all I'm going to have to say. I know some people think, that if the albums are growers, and that's cool if it's a style of music that I enjoy. Unfortunately, this is just not something that I want to put any effort into, if I'm being completely honest. So, I don't know. I'm just going to leave it at that. Like I said, this is all just opinion. Unfortunately, this one just didn't really do a whole lot for me. The guest performances were cool. The Ozzy song was great. I would love to hear that type of thing on Ozzy's next album. Other than that, it was interesting listening to, but that's about it for me. That's a one and done. And as always, if you guys have anything you want to interject, if you like Billy Morrison, you like this, that's cool. Feel free to express your opinion on that as well. Music is different for everybody, but I will still say like, share, and subscribe to keep this music alive, because I think it's cool when people do their own thing, and I like the guest performances on here, so I might like to hear something further in the future. And I'll probably check out his other stuff too and see what it actually sounded like, but for this one, probably not going to check it out again. But until next time, we will see you.